We are live, and a very Merry Christmas to you all, or post-Christmas to you all, as it is January. December the 26th, 2023, the year of our Lord, and we are here having to do a show because we just can't have peace. Nevertheless, we are here. We are live. I hope all of you are having a fantastic holiday season. I hope all of you are having a great Christmas. I hope you got a lot of great gifts. My lovely wife Megan got me a what they call a whiskey smoker. You know, like you can smoke and age your whiskeys. Was pretty nice. Did not have the large ice cube that I needed. Didn't have them ready to go. We'll have one tonight. So kids had a great Christmas. Ben got a new bike. My son got a whole bunch of toys. We have a toy explosion, which I put that out there, and then an LSU fan told me, was thinking a little bit naughty. But nevertheless, I hope all of you are having a great Christmas. We got lots and lots and lots and lots to talk about with you here tonight. LSU bowl game. LSU leaves for Tampa today. They have arrived. We will touch on that. Also, I'm trying to wait for it until the end, but I don't think I'm going to be able to last. That's what she said. We're going to address the Brian Kelly to Michigan rumors. What does it mean? What does it say? And we'll go around some coaching carousel stuff. We talked a little bit about the OC the other night, why it is of my opinion that either two things are going to happen here for offensive coordinator. What happens defensively after, guys, let's call it what it is, roughly this time next week? What can happen roughly this time next week? So we got a lot to discuss. We got tons and tons and tons to talk about. Hope all of you having a good Christmas. And yes, we will be talking about Brian Kelly and the rumor around Michigan. I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm going to keep my cool. I just wish I wished the holiday season would go over smoother. And there's one big thing. There's one massive thing. Even if it is true, which we'll talk about that in a minute. There's just one glaring and one massive thing. So if a head coach leaves LSU to go somewhere else, guys, I got to be real with you. There's going to be 50, if not hundreds, or 100, if not more, people lining up to be the next head coach at LSU. With that being said, I think we're going to be okay here, or I don't think anything's going to happen. Now, we're going to talk about the realistic nature of anything that could happen, and we'll go from there. But what I will say is calm yourselves. Calm yourselves. Don't let something that a rumor that got started by a guy from Texas A&M continue to ruin your holiday season. We'll go around your SEC. Ole Miss continues to hit the portal pretty hard. And not only that, man, so does Missouri. So what does LSU have to do to combat that? Is there anything right now they can do to combat that? I think that there is. But it's a massive. It's not a massive question mark. Can it be done? Very realistically, yes, for LSU to mend that gap or fence. But Ole Miss has continued to get better, man. 10 starters on defense from the transfer portal. Most of these dudes have extensive SEC experience. They got the sack leaders from 3 other teams, and then they added Walter Nolan. So we'll talk about that. College football playoff talk. We are 5-6 days away from the playoff games being played. We'll touch on that. And as I mentioned in the beginning, what the bowl game must show for LSU. So we'll touch on all of that. All right, let's get to a couple of your comments. Danny Krantz, what's up, buddy? Says, happy holidays, Blake. Rufino's Ranch. Yeah, we're probably going to have one tonight. Unfortunately, we'll have one tonight. Adrian says, Blake Rufino, if BK leaves, I guarantee you that Lane Kiffin will be the next head coach at LSU. Well, We'll talk about that. I don't mind Lane. Never did mind Lane. Wanted Lane, but if it was Lane or Brian Kelly at the time being, I still have a lot of faith in Brian Kelly. Andrew Paul Martin says Kelly ain't leaving. The rumor started by Billy effing Lucci and was foolishly resurfaced by Moscona. BK isn't popular among the Michigan base either. He is not. Without question, he is not. Robert says, I believe Jim Harbaugh is shaking Michigan's leg. I don't think he's shaking Michigan's leg at all. Not one bit do I think that he's shaking their leg at all. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell you what I'm hearing. All right? He ain't shaking. Well, pause, because I hope a lot of you aren't around kids. But, guys, when you go to the urinal, there's only one thing that he probably shaking. Pause. Massive pause. He ain't shaking Michigan's leg. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. It's smart by Harbaugh what he's doing. Why wouldn't he do it? Guys, there's a chance. I mean, even though I don't believe it's going to happen, there's a chance that Harbaugh could win a national title, and then he has all the leverage from everybody. I mean, like, he would not make a decision now. It'd be foolish for him to make a decision now. Gerard Guillory says, I think you try to have peace, but we don't let you. No, you do not. No, you do not. Especially you, Gerard. You do not let me have peace whatsoever. Ever. I mean, I get on there and Gerard's, man, you can't live that negative of a life, man. I'm just telling you. It will give you heart problems. Stress is a killer. Marvin Mackey says, no D-line coach yet. Y'all keep saying D-line coach coming down the pipeline. Well, first off, define y'all. I've never given a timeline. Not once on this show, not once on my board. Never. I've never given a timeline on the defensive line coach. I said the thing that made the most sense to me at the max would be at the end of the NFL season if they're going to get a guy from the NFL. That would be the latest that it would happen. You're going to have to define y'all because y'all ain't said shit. Y'all be listening to a whole bunch of other Rudy Poos, and then you come at me saying, Blake, remember you said this? I didn't say shit. Quite honestly, I've let everybody else talk shit about the coaching searches. Hadn't said shit because I know something that majority of people don't know. And doing this show for, what is it now, episode 839, I'm not going to say shit until it's going to happen. Like, just throwing this out there, I legitimately, which brings me to the point before we hit the break. The last show we did was last Wednesday. Okay, and in that show, I signed off by saying the following. There are going to be coaching rumors around LSU that are going to pop up within the next 48 to 72 hours. So literally what I said. Said the Denbrock thing could happen. It did happen. Okay. But came back and said there's going to be other coaching rumors that are going to surface because everybody has time on their hands. And what is the realistic truth? Told you don't listen to it. Legitimately warned you almost a week ago today. It's how I signed off the show. Said don't listen to that shit. Well, seems like a lot of you forgot about that. D. Townsend said y'all ain't said shit. We ain't said shit. Lester, I'm pretty sure this is Lester on Twitter, says, so if Jimmy Lindsey is not the next D-line coach going forward, I do believe he will not. And not only that, I mean, Brian Kelly's already said and I'm quoting, moving forward that Jimmy Lindsey will be in an administrative role, kind of like Steve Cragthorpe was. If y'all remember Steve Cragthorpe, about a decade ago when he fell ill and then was just a analyst for both Les and Ed. So, no, I do not. I'm just going based off of the words of Brian Kelly saying he's moving to an analyst role. He's moving to a front office type role. That's what he said. 9 times out of 10, that's mainly what she said. But this time, that's what he said. All right, let's get rolling. Official AD said you did say that. The last thing I said before we had to talk about Mike Denbrock, literally a week ago, said there signed off and said there's going to be a massive coaching rumor that's going to come out. Don't listen to it. And I guess, look, I'm not coming on this thing to say told you so, but there are whispers that are always happening. Always happening. Always happening. So we're going to talk about it. Let's do it. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. Share to all those social media groups. Share to all of those social media pages. If you're watching us, listening to us on Facebook, like, subscribe, share to all those groups, share to all your social media pages. If you're listening to us, watching us on Twitter, do the same. Hit the retweet button instead, but DM all your friends. I know they got like some kind of crazy groups on Twitter too. You can share up into there. Watching us, listening to us on the tube, like, subscribe, notification bell, and wherever you listen to podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Been saying this for a while now, about last week. Guys, if you're a realtor, you want to be a realtor, you want some passive income, you got to get in touch with my good friend Tyler Alexander over at LPT Realty because he's expanding his team. There's a reason he is the number 2 realtor inside the state of Louisiana. It's on purpose. They will list your home, sell your home, got guarantees and some of those things. You need to give him a call. 225-955-0008. Either join his team if you're in real estate or get your home sold. So about our good friends at BetOnline and Tyler Alexander. Is BK going to Michigan? We talk about that next. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events, with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag.
He will sell your house and find you a new. Well, Tyler's the man, he's here for you. If you want to buy or sell, well, it's not too late. Dial 955-0008. Just call 955-0008. Y'all call Tyler, he'll shoot you straight.
We're back. Let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Let's get this thing rolling, y'all. That was a long. We used to do that all the time, and I think we stopped around episode 400 or 500. But nevertheless, let's get this thing rolling. So over the last, I don't even know what it is anymore. My days are somewhat rolling together in this holiday season. But there was a rumor, a video that came out. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. It's not the first time that this rumor, or what some would say sourcing, has come out, that there's a potential that if Jim Harbaugh left Michigan and went to the Chargers, that Brian Kelly would have interest, and if Michigan did want Brian Kelly, that he would leave LSU for Michigan. So immediately after that video came out, now a lot of you have been telling me that maybe there was some context to that video other than what was said. I would love to know the context, because I went back and watched, and the context is pretty clear. It seems as if that there are some people on this media beat that literally said that Brian Kelly would have interest in Michigan if that job were to come open and Jim Harbaugh were to leave. The first thing, let's attack this with 4 different points here. Number one, and this is probably the most simple one, and the biggest question is, well, Blake, if BK has interest in going to Michigan, well, would he want to go somewhere else at any other time, or what's going on with Michigan and Jim Harbaugh to start off with? Well, the truth is Jim Harbaugh doesn't have to do anything. He is in the catbird seat. Guys, he's back in the playoffs for the third straight year. The logical point for Jim Harbaugh right now would be wait and see. Like, if he won a national title, which I don't believe that he will, even if he played for a national title, he would hold all of the leverage. He would hold all the leverage with Michigan. He would hold all the leverage with any NFL job that he would want that would be open. No, I don't think Harbaugh not signing the contract that allegedly Michigan has offered him 10 years, $125 million guaranteed. No, he's going to sit and wait because Michigan is not going to pull that from him if he doesn't win a national title. That offer is always going to be there. They're always going to want to give him that contract. They're not going to pull it from him. And people would ask me, well, why wouldn't they? Because Michigan's doing everything they can to fight all of the what Connor Stallings, whatever his name was, investigation with them going and filming other teams, him standing on the sidelines, filming at a Michigan State game. Like, they are fighting all of these things to keep Harbaugh as the head coach. Just this past week, they got an NOA, which is a notice of allegations for recruiting violations that happened all the way back during 2020 during COVID. And they're fighting those too. No, they want to keep Jim Harbaugh and do everything they can to keep him. Michigan is a place where a lot of times they want Michigan guys. Brady Hoke. Remember when they went after Les Miles? Rich Rod would be the only one that wasn't a typical Michigan guy. And then Harbaugh comes back. They want a Michigan man, as they would call it, to be the head coach of Michigan. Brian Kelly's not a Michigan guy. Now, his former defensive line coach and current Michigan DC, he does fit that bill. He does 1,000% fit that bill, where I would think that they might would turn to in that late of a date if Harbaugh were to leave. Now, here's the truth. Let's talk about this from a Brian Kelly perspective. And let's actually give the context of where this is coming from. So on Wednesday, I told you there's going to be coaching rumors that are going to come out. Don't believe them. It's the last real show not named Mike Denbrock and him leaving to Notre Dame that we did. Brian Kelly, about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever he was asked, was would he leave LSU for Michigan? And what he said was, this is my final ride. This is my final stop. I'm not going anywhere. Now, you don't have to believe him, but let's play a little bit of just context, and let's play a little game here. As soon as this quote-unquote rumor or quote-unquote sourcing came out from Billy Lucci and today or this week, the last couple of days, from someone in this own LSU media beat, not only did Brian Kelly massively deflect it a couple of weeks ago, he's got people in his own camp very close to him, I might add, that are not only refuting it, they're flat out denying that he wants to go anywhere right now. So I don't know if the quote-unquote sourcing from Billy Lucci about a month ago is something that he's just trying to get after LSU. He says it during the week that LSU and Texas A&M are playing. Then last week, Billy Lucci was in a video, which, by the way, me and him got into it on social media. Me telling him to come on the show. If he wants to talk shit about LSU and Brian Kelly, come on. Let's talk about it. Don't run. He says, we'll do it after the holidays. He will refuse to come on here because he knows what will happen. But, guys, LSU and A&M at that exact moment were in massive recruiting battles. Terry Bussey being one of them. They're in one right now with Dominic McKinley, the 5-star from Lafayette. Why do you think Billy Lucci said it? Sure as hell didn't say anything about when they try to pluck away Mike Denbrock as their next offensive coordinator. Seemed to magically forget that he got an A&M, absolutely got put in a locker by LSU in this administration and why Mike Denbrock wouldn't want to go to a cult fan base, a cult type of team and atmosphere. Doesn't bring that up. And now it resurfaces this week. Now, listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to me. If you don't listen, and I know we're at the end of the year, if you have not listened to anything I've said this year, listen to me. Is there a chance that Brian Kelly, if Jim Harbaugh left, could go to Michigan? Absolutely. He's a really good coach. Regardless of how bad and how mad you are about what happened this last year. Yeah, I could easily see that happening. But there's a lot of what ifs. Jim Harbaugh leaving, Brian Kelly in a buyout that he could or could not have with LSU. I heard that context too. I was under the impression that it was more than $2 million, but what do I know? Could he be? Yeah, sure. 1,000%. Yeah, he could. I'm not going to deny that at all. I'm not going to. But there's in this business, there are so many things that are whispers that when they're released, okay, can kill things for you as not only a team, a fan base, an administration. Do you realize how many things have to happen for this to go on? Harbaugh would have to, just quite honestly, would have to walk away from $125 million guaranteed, go back into the NFL. Now, there's a realistic option that he does that. A very realistic option that he does that because he's got the Connor Stallions thing. He's got the NOA from recruiting. He's already served a 6-game suspension this year. I don't know how much more he would have to be suspended for if they suspend him at all from this point forward. I don't think that that's going to happen. He's already served penalty. He's out there today in a press conference with ESPN saying, it made me love Michigan even more. Like, you literally have Jim Harbaugh on ESPN today in an interview, and Marty Smith asks him, when you're out of those 6 games, what was the first thing that you feel? If there's one way you can describe how you feel, the first thing that comes out of his mouth, it made me want to win more at Michigan than I ever have. So if the dude is that determined, going to get paid $125 million guaranteed, yeah, I don't know if that's a strong possibility. I don't care that the contract's hadn't been signed for Michigan because he holds all the leverage. Michigan will not pull a $125 million guaranteed contract from him if he doesn't win the national title. If he rolls his happy ass out here in less than a week or about a week, and Alabama absolutely just destroys Michigan, Michigan will not pull that contract from him. It will not happen. I don't know what he's going to do. I really don't know what he's going to do. But one thing is for sure, Brian Kelly camp's denying it. Everywhere you turn, they're denying it. You got someone that's close to him on staff out there legitimately denying it. So if they would do that, yeah, I don't think that it has a lot of merit. Now, the rumors were allegedly, how do I want to say this? The rumors were people pulling him back saying, I never said that. You got Lucci quote tweeting the video from Nick Diaz, okay? Which, by the way, the mindset you have to be in, and I'm not mad at Nick Diaz. Somebody else said it. You thought it was prominent. You put it on Twitter. Okay, sounds good. But to deny that you ever said it, in one of the more crucial points that LSU is in, I can make the argument that right now is more pivotal for Brian Kelly, for coaching staff, for recruiting than it's ever been at LSU. And let me tell you why, even letting that rumor fly before it's even remotely possible of happening. So, again, realize that there's so many things There are so many things that have to happen for Harbaugh to leave Michigan to go to the NFL and for that job to be open. The biggest problem in all of that is this. You have a 5-star running back in Harlem Berry committing on January the 3rd. You have the number 1 player in 2025 committing on January the 6th. That hurt you so bad. I'm telling you, it hurts you bad in recruiting areas. Regardless of what you think, I know for a fact after making phone calls, by the way, last night at the end of Christmas, shooting texts and making some phone calls, it hurts recruiting. 1,000%. 2025 especially. Why you would just come out with a rumor mill and then deny that you said it, I don't get it. But this is a pivotal point in Brian Kelly's tenure here at LSU. He's got Joe Sloan and Cortez Hankton that he just elevated as co-offensive coordinators. I would assume after the bowl game, there's going to be maybe some shakeup along the defensive staff. That's my opinion. Have not officially got that confirmed yet. It's my opinion. I think that that's going to happen. And by the way, the number 1 running back in the country in 2025 in Harlem Berry is going to commit in a couple of days. And then 3 days after that, you got the number 1 player in the country who, by the way, you lead for, who now has to call Brian Kelly and say, Coach, are you thinking about coming to even my home state in Michigan if Jim Harbaugh were to leave? God bless it. God bless it. I'm telling you, it hurts you. So of these 4 points that we've laid out here, let me give you my opinion. My opinion is, and strictly opinion, I don't think Brian Kelly's leaving to go to Michigan. Could he leave and go somewhere else? Could someone in the NFL be snooping around, maybe want him to go? Maybe he does want to go back home. If Bill Belichick steps down, maybe he does go to New England. Who knows? I don't even know if that coaching job is going to be open. But there's a possibility always when you have a really good coach, especially a head coach, your name's going to be brought up in big-time jobs. So I do think that it should help you reestablish a little bit of faith in what Brian Kelly is doing at LSU. Now, I'm not going to sell you on everything. It's not really my job to sell you. My job is to tell you what I think about what's going on with the state of the program. Do I think they got to pick it up in some areas? 1,000%. They got to do better along the defensive line in the front 7. They do. They 1,000% do. They got to do some better things along the secondary. Not going to deny it. But you were sitting here in this almost exact spot, almost the exact same spot that you were in a year ago. You're in it right now. The only difference is, yeah, your offensive coordinator left. But from an on-field record standpoint, you're the same. You're the exact same. I do believe, and we talked about this the other night, I do believe that having Cortez Hankton and Joe Sloan co-coordinators is what they're going to roll with, and I don't hate it. I legitimately don't. And I cannot see Brian Kelly walking that back, nor do I think should he. Talking to some people in the industry, have a really good buddy of mine that coaches at LA. 2 years ago, Cortez Hankton got interviewed for the offensive coordinator job and was a finalist. Was a finalist for that gig. You talk to people in the coaching realm, wouldn't be surprised if Cortez Hankton's not an official OC very soon. So I do like the addition of Joe Sloan and Cortez Hankton. Guys, look at what he's done in the passing game with the receivers. I mean, he's done wonders with what the receivers and the development that they've had. Yeah, Jaden Daniels went absolutely stupid this year. But let's not act like Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, even Kyron Lacey at times did not improve massively their damn selves. Defensively, I think you're going to make hires, okay? And I don't know where it's going to be. I've told you my thoughts on Corey Raymond. I have not budged on that, and I'm not going to budge. There are question marks around Corey Raymond returning here. Guys, 97th in the country. 97th in the country the last 4 years in passing yards allowed are Corey Raymond teams. 97th. Yeah, he comes back here. He's going to have to recruit at a higher rate, and he's going to have better defense on the field. That's it. It's a big ask. It's a massive ask. Oh, by the way, most of your two deep is true freshmen. Most of your two deep is going to be true freshmen because you're not going back in the portal to get DBs. You're going to have to develop. I've told you, if it was my opinion, my pick, I'd 1,000% go ask Chevis Jackson what he's up to. It's my opinion. There's a lot of things going on, and this is why I think to wrap this all in a perfect little bow, why I think all of this is going on, because there's negative light around LSU right now. You don't know how and what they're going to look like on the offense. You had a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, an unreal offense, and you can't make a playoff. You go 9-3 with that kind of offense. And now you have no idea what Garrett Nussmeier is about to do or pull off. You think the defense is going to be even worse or could be even worse, or if not just the same next year as it is this one. Oh my, how the times have changed when you're 9-4 a year ago to where you're 9-3. You fast forward an entire year. You're 9-3 again this year, and yeah, you underperformed. Brian Kelly admitted in his press conference on signing day, we underperformed, or either maybe the one before that, we underperformed. This is not the standard with the offense that we just had. What we saw defensively, this will not be the standard. Okay, well, when you say that, that means that changes are coming. That means you're adding really good coaches. That's what that means. Okay. You hate that Mike Denbrock. And the Mike Denbrock news, it's not that Mike Denbrock left. So all of this bad news and all of this bad feelings that you have towards this football program all compiles with, and what is the peak of all of it, is that not only did Mike Denbrock leave and go take another OC job somewhere, Mike Denbrock left and went to Notre Dame, which then makes it worse from a PR standpoint. Yeah, regardless, it doesn't matter. Brian Kelly in this program has egg on their face because he went there from a national standard, even though the truth is, no, they really don't. But the PR standpoint is going to be, until LSU's team gets on the field next year and offensively they dominate, it's going to be like that all off season. Oh, LSU, we just got your offensive coordinator. He wants to be here. He don't want to be down there in the Bayou. That's what they're going to say. Let them say it. Because a team that hasn't won a national title since 1988 doesn't scare my happy ass, and it shouldn't scare yours. Rumors have consequences. They always have, and they always will. What I will tell you is, we've been doing this since 2017. And I understood it. I understood it when we first started all this. We would break, the way that we made our name was breaking news. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. I'm not in that game anymore because got labeled so many things. Myself, my wife, my kids, every one of them, either directly or indirectly, have taken shots because of breaking news. Everybody wants to be in the know. Nobody just wants to talk shop anymore. Nobody. It makes them look cool and feel cool. Well, the media world has changed. It has changed. Where you got your stuff from in the beginning is not where you can get your stuff from now. Now, do you have to do your own vetting and trust on reliable people and people that are always reliable and sources? Yeah. I'm not telling you to just run out there with any rumor that's on frickin' Tiger droppings and bring it somewhere. That's not how this works. But what I will tell you is that when you come on a show like this or you go to another podcast, if they're reliable, you probably should listen to them. And what's crazy is 5 years ago, people like myself and others that do stuff like this got absolutely ridiculed, beat up, told, oh, he's a dopey face podcast guy. Well, at least my fat ass has got hair. So regardless, I tend to think that we have been very reliable. I'm not in the news breaking business anymore. Will we? Can we? Yeah. They're possibly, hint, hint, wink, wink. I think you're going to add guys from the portal in the next month. I think you're going to lose guys. Maybe even guys that you're not expecting you're going to lose. Maybe adding a guy or two that you didn't even expect that position group was something that you needed. You can listen to whoever you want to. But I'm just going to tell you, rumors kill. And I promise you this. From a recruiting aspect, I said it was the biggest hit, was in part of recruiting. Let me give you an example. If you're Bryce Underwood, let me ask y'all a question. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with this. Thumbs up or thumbs down inside the chat. Okay? Tell me this. If you're Bryce Underwood in the last 3 visits that you've made, number 1 player in the nation, quarterback. You're from the state of Michigan. You've gone on an official visit to Michigan. You've gone on multiple visits and an official visit to LSU. You got him inside of Death Valley swag surfing. Okay? Then about a week ago, surprisingly to everybody, he takes a trip to Bama on a either, I forget, so sue me. Either he went on an unofficial or official, I don't remember. But he went on a visit to Alabama. It hurts Michigan in his recruiting because, well, hey, man, you got this notice of allegations. You got the Connor Stallions thing going on with the videoing coaches' signals. You got multiple lawsuits that are out there. Is Harbaugh going to hit the transfer pool his damn self and go to LA with the Chargers? And with all that being said, well, if that actually does happen, let me call Brian Kelly. Hey, Coach Kelly, are you going to Michigan? Are you leaving LSU? I mean, I loved it down there. I told multiple people that LSU has been my number 1 place. And then your Nick Saban's crazy ass sitting there on the sidelines calling up Bryce Underwood and saying, hey, man, Harbaugh ain't going to be there, and BK ain't going to be at LSU. He's going to Michigan, and he's going to have to do his, it's going to be a little rebuilding process. All we're doing here at Alabama, we're in the playoffs. And by the way, you're better than the quarterback that I have now. Rumors kill when Nick Saban can make a phone call to the number 1 player in the country for 2025 and say, hey, man, sounds like Michigan and Alabama has some issues going on. LSU, they can't beat us on a consistent basis. That's what he's going to tell them. So thumbs up, do you agree? Thumbs down, do you disagree? Because I'm telling you it's happening. Hand to the good Lord. I'm telling you that is happening. If you think that Nick Saban is not calling Bryce Underwood right now and saying that there's instability at those 2 programs, you're nuts. You're insane. And by the way, here's a little news flash about how my business works. You want to know how my business works? It goes like this. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. The number I just dialed was 1-800-CALL-AN-AGENT. And they'll call guys like me. They'll call other dudes. They'll have people that work for them. We've had a guy on this show, not going to mention his name, a guy on this show who works for the largest agency firm who has the contracts and is the attorney of record for over two-thirds of the head coaching industry. And my good buddy, who I love to death, will give me a phone call. Bring, say, hey, man, listen, A&M's trying to plug Mike Denbrock to be their next offensive coordinator. And Brian Kelly told him that, hey, you might want to go to there or Notre Dame because they're going to have an opening too. Brian Kelly might be out of here. I heard if Harbaugh leaves, he's going to Michigan. 1,000% happens. Now, what's the truth in all of that? The truth is, yeah, Mike Elko is trying to hire Mike Denbrock. But that is how rumors start to get this thing rolling. Meanwhile, Jimmy Sexton's fat ass, okay, is on the phone with all of these different media people, or his people are. I shouldn't say Jimmy Sexton, but his people are on the phone making phone calls to guys like me, other radio hosts, national dudes, saying this, and this is going on. By the way, Billy Lucci was the one that broke the news that Elko was going to be the next head coach. Wonder who told him that. He'll say, oh, it was my people inside A&M. The shit it is. When it comes to coaching, I'm telling you, as someone who has broke news, bullshit. These national guys break coaching news because they're getting it from schools, either ADs, and a lot of times they're getting it from agents. I promise you. So you mean to tell me that Jimmy Sexton's fat ass didn't pick up a phone call one day, and it's from the little man, and the little man says, I need you to stir up some chaos at Michigan. I need you to stir up some chaos at LSU because I want to go after the number one player in the country, probably and arguably one of the best quarterbacks I've seen. I just got him on a visit here. I want that kid here. You mean to tell me that what I just told you, even though I know that I'm in the business and it happens to me weekly, I'm telling you how this business works. I ain't being careful on nothing. I'm not being careful on nothing, which reminds me, taking me out of context. I saw something today. Somebody sent me a text thread of something, okay, that said the video from the guy that was in the video that all of it was taken out of context. Well, why didn't you stop it? Could have easily quote tweeted it and said this was completely taken out of context. Completely. I was asked a question in reference to, hey, if BK left LSU, what would have to happen? You could have easily put that to bed within the first hour or infancy that any of this happened. Guys, you all being here didn't even have to be a thing. Like, meaning us having to do somewhat of an emergency podcast or emergency show shouldn't have ever happened because all of it could have been ended within an hour. So when you say, Blake, be careful, they're going to take you out of context. I see all your comments right here. No, I don't have to be. I don't have to be. Because you know what my big ass would do? My fat ass would go out there and quote tweet and said, here's the actual clip. It's completely taken out of context. It's not what I mean. It's not what's happening. Could have easily been avoided. Meanwhile, playoff Saban is on his way to Michigan. Pun intended. Oh, and by the way, he's playing Michigan. He is playing Michigan in the playoffs, which we're about to talk about in just a second. Alabama is playing Michigan in a couple of days. If you think this is not the kind of stuff that goes on. So you wanted to, I'll give it another example. Everybody, I see so many people on social media talking like about NIL. Oh man, NIL so bad. So bad. I can't believe this is going on in college football. Newsflash, ladies and gentlemen. This has always been going on. You're just now seeing how the sausage is being made. You're just seeing how all of it's always been happening. Now, are kids making more money because of the transfer portal? Can they make more money because they can use leverage? Okay. All right. Cool. LSU profited. This is on their audit sheet. $90 million. Who do they think they kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton? The bottom line is, I don't care if people or players are going to try to make money. All right, whatever. Cool. But this has always had how the sausage has been made. Who was the two dudes? If Paul Zub is in here, he'll tell me. Who are some dudes, okay, that was it Treadwell, Laquan Treadwell, never visited Ole Miss, commits there. My point in what I'm saying, that I'm saying is, this is the business we work, and I'm telling you how the sausage is being made. You might not like to hear that, but it's just how it goes down. It 1,000% is how it goes down. So all of the, what's the word I'm looking for here? Rumors that you'd heard, right? Like all the rumors that you'd heard about, yeah, man, that's Jimmy Sexton, or that's Trace out there putting out them fake rumors. Like, remember when Brian Kelly was hired, and I forget who broke or allegedly broke the news, because it wasn't news, that said Lincoln Riley was going to be the next head coach at LSU. Guys, where do you think this stuff comes from? You think that this stuff is just made up in somebody's head? Oh, this guy's he's just making all this up. Guys, that could easily be the truth. But 9 times out of 10, it's when a young dude, like even the guy with Lane Kiffin last year, the TV reporter, and I think it's in Jackson, Mississippi, broke the news that Lane Kiffin was going to Auburn. Well, what they did not realize is that kid would go on a video and go full blast and saying that not only did he have an Ole Miss official confirm it, he had from somebody from inside the camp of Lane Kiffin saying, yeah, that's the email we just got to. Here it is. So the kid from Jackson who broke the Lane Kiffin story that he's going to Auburn gets absolutely abused, okay, on social media. Meanwhile, he's literally got confirmation from an Ole Miss official, like AD official. That's what he's claiming. 50 minutes of pure and insane talk about, like, hey, man, on Christmas, the day after Christmas, you and I have to have a serious conversation. Just told you how everything goes on. So, you know what we're going to do? If you have a question, thought, or concern, and if you're on YouTube, send in a super chat. It helps so easier. Send 99 cents. It helps me. But like D. Smith just did with a $199 super chat, says Gordon better call Bryce, back up the money truck with the hashtag with a $199 super chat. It's going to take more. Well, let me just say this. It's going to take more than just him. It does take more than just him. The money part, okay. So to D. Smith's point or thought here, I have no worries about the money. The only reason, here's the truth. Let me be careful here. If you thought LSU wasn't competitive in the NIL space, then why are they in the sweepstakes for the number one player in the country? What do you think happens? All right. So the money has I'm not even thinking about that. All I'm saying is that rumors kill, and listen to somebody that is reliable. Even though I might be the LSU poster child for a new guy off the street coming out of nowhere, breaking news, having a podcast. Nobody likes my ass in the beginning because he took my news. Don't listen to guys who haven't gone to the manship school. Manship school ain't got shit on what you do and do not know and got confirmed and what you did not get confirmed. Doesn't stop me from firing up this goddamn microphone. I tell you that. Doesn't stop me from building my own business. Doesn't stop any of that shit. What it does start is, okay, you'll have other guys on your little shows and you think it's good. I don't need you. You don't need me. Good. But guys like me took a beating for being wrong when we weren't. Meanwhile, you got people from Brian Kelly's camp denying it to the person who's in the video. I know for a fact. Fuck it. Let him go. Snafu, I got you. I got you. I'll do better with that. Crypto Occasion says, do the players have agents now? They do not. They do not. Chili says, ask Blake, so does LSU have to worry on the 6th? I'm not moving my pick. I put my pick in. I'm not moving it. I haven't had any word to move it. All right. The guy in Joe Sloan who was recruiting him, all right, isn't going anywhere as of right now. Now, this is what we're going to do. Because I got it now, after spending 60 minutes almost, we might have to do an hour and a half show because there's so much going on. But what we're going to do is this. I'm going to take a break. Send in your thoughts, questions, concerns. Either do it in the super chat. That's what 1,000% gets it read. Or we'll try to get to some others. Here, we're going to take a quick break. What am I hearing about the offensive coordinator? What do I think is going to happen? I'll give you opinion. I'll give you some things that I'm hearing. We'll do that next. I want to go around college football in the SEC. We won't spend a lot of time on that. I'll just give you my picks, and we'll talk a little bit of chatter on Walter Nolan and what Missouri is doing as well. So we got a lot to continue to talk about. Let's take a quick break, and we'll get to all of that. Who's going to be LSU's official? Who is calling plays for LSU in 2024? Is it going to be a combination? We'll talk about that in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. We're back next. Guys, you might know my good friend Carol Falls and all the great service that he provides over at State Farm. He is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates as well? Along with the great neighbor service, State Farm agent Carol Falls has surprisingly great rates for everyone inside the state of Louisiana. So call him today at 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300 for all of those surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to the State Farm underwriting requirements. By the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vicnair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by. Bayou Daiquiris at Bayou Bowling Go is owned and operated locally by Steve and Lisa Bean. You can find them at 1512 North Highway 190 in Covington, Louisiana. That's 1512
North Highway 190 in Covington. The North Shore's first crawfish drive-thru is about to step it up another notch by bringing you drive-thru daiquiris as well. You can call in your order today at 985-888-1914, 985-888-1914, because you know what? Daiquiris and crawfish, it's a Louisiana thing.
Literally just talked for an hour about how rumors can kill. And I like Mike, SEC Mike on Twitter. Michael Branton is his name. But Max Toscano, who I don't know what he is anymore. He worked for like Sports Illustrated. Says, I don't have LSU in my top 25 as it stands, but I think Tennessee and Oklahoma could be really good. SEC Mike quote tweeted it for whatever reason, said, sounds like big news is coming for LSU's defense. I would be excited if I'm an LSU fan. I don't think that he's really wrong there. I don't think he understands what he's saying when he says that in reference to, we'll talk about it in the times. Do I think LSU is making defensive personnel changes? Yes, I do. 100% I do. So not wrong there, but he throws that out there pretty well sourced. And he's just throwing out a rumor. Positive one. Anyway. All right. Offensive coordinator time. You know, we talked about this the other night, and I really got to thinking about it. And I gave my opinion on Joe Sloan. And I gave my opinion on Cortez Hankton. I'm going to give some realistic options of what they could do, what I think they could do, right or wrong, indifferent, could happen. What do I ultimately think can happen? Now, let me preface all of this because if it's your first time watching us, I want you to understand something. There is a massive, massive, massive difference in opinion. There's a massive difference in sourcing. Here is my ultimate opinion. My ultimate opinion on the offensive coordinator position opening as it would stand until it's really made official, because LSU just could have made it official. What do I mean by that? If LSU was just permanently going to upgrade Joe Sloan and Cortez Hankton, why not do it? Now, maybe they wait to do that at the end of the bowl game, do some formalities, contract talks, because contracts would have to be different. Okay. All right, I understand that. But here's what I think they should do, or what I think they are going to do. I think they're not going to leave any stone unturned. I think that there's a strong possibility that Brian Kelly and Scott Woodward would kick the tires on a couple of guys. Would not be shocked if a call that he makes to Tommy Rees just to gauge interest. Okay. Doubt that happens. Would not doubt if Brian Kelly would call other guys that he knows in the business that maybe have some SEC ties. Would not surprise me in the slightest. But my ultimate opinion as it stands today could completely change 5 minutes from now, can change 5 days from now. Have no clue. My opinion is that they're going to stick with Joe Sloan and Cortez Hankton and let them be both co-OCs. You wouldn't have named both of them as co-offensive coordinators if you didn't want the both of them. Now, Joe Sloan gets that title at 1,000% right now, mainly due to the fact that he's called plays before, whatever. Why did Brian Kelly not just do that? Interim OC for now. Why did he throw in Cortez Hankton? Because let me tell you the truth. He thinks Cortez Hankton's a damn good coach, could call plays in this league. That's what he believes. I think they're going to roll with the both of them. I think it would be a slap in the face of Cortez Hankton or Joe Sloan if he demoted either one of them. But if we're going to call everything out, if we're going to talk about everything that's true, Mike Denbrock did call plays for Brian Kelly. But I went back today when Brian Kelly announced at Mike Denbrock as his offensive coordinator. And this is what Brian Kelly said. Okay. Mike knows the style of offense that I want him to run. It's like a hand in glove. Quoting here, it's like a hand in glove. Mike knows exactly how I want to attack defenses from the passing game and the running game, and when it comes to field position. What does that mean there? Let me tell you what it means. It don't matter really who your OC is. Now, it does in the sense of that you got to call plays. Like Brian Kelly's not going to do it. So, yes, you got to get a really good mastermind and do it. We talked about this in reference to Saban. All right? You go to Alabama to run Nick Saban's offense. You don't even – guys, they don't even change up the verbiage. The same will probably happen here unless Brian Kelly decides to go in a completely different area. Mike knows how to run my offense. Oh, okay. Now, Mike is still a damn strong play caller. I love Mike Denbrock. Still do. I know that people are pissed off with him. I don't like the move myself personally. Mike is a really good coach. You're coming here to run Brian Kelly's offense. You just have two guys that, call it what it is, have been under Mike Denbrock the last 2 years. And I don't mind from hiring from within. I never hire from within. Ed never did it. Ed never could do it. Les did to some extent on some things. We've seen Saban do it the whole time. And I'm going to say this. When you dominate in an area, so as an example, if you dominate defensively, offensively, and you have some shakeup on staff or personnel or players, it is of my opinion, I'm always going to give that side of the football for that team the benefit of the doubt until they show me otherwise. Now, we know LSU is not going to be up to the standard and caliber of offense that they were this past year to next year. It will not happen. But last year, the truth is, in year one, you weren't that bad. And Garrett Nussmeier, your quarterback, you have multiple offensive linemen that have been in the system, multiple wide receivers that have been on this team, I should say, who know what they need to do. Talk to you about how I thought Shelton Sampson last week was arguably the most improved player that I'd seen on that team, the former five-star. From how bad he looked in August to how damn good he looked in December. But there are some things I'm hearing out there. Not all of them are true. God bless me. If Tiger Droppings fell out today, my life would be a lot easier. But I do think that Brian Kelly is going to kick the tires on some things. Listen to me. He's going to kick the tires on some guys that are not here for ultimate. If he didn't, you would, God bless it, if Joe Sloan and Cortez Hankton did not work out, you would call him Ed Orgeron. You'd call him Les Miles. I'm telling you, he's making phone calls. He's going to gauge interest. He's going to give himself options. But I think he's going to roll with the two guys he's got here. And he'll either elevate somebody or hire somebody for tight ends, and they'll go that route. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think both of them can call plays, to be honest with you. I think Cortez is an amazing recruiter. I think he's an amazing developer. Got to see him call some plays. And I think he knows what Brian Kelly wants. I think he knows what this team needs. I said the same last week when we talked about Joe Sloan. All right. Couple of questions that were in here. Alexandra says on YouTube, ask Blake, sorry if it sounds like a dumb question, but if Coach BK, is not leaving LSU, why doesn't he just release a statement to settle all this? Well, I get what you're asking. Okay, I get what you're asking. I don't think it's a dumb question. All right. I don't think it's a dumb question at all. I don't think a coach should have to issue a press release on a rumor like that. Right? Like, I think it makes LSU look weak if they do. I mean, I do. LSU didn't issue a press release on Les until after the fact. Could he? Yeah. Could he? Yeah. I mean, I just don't think either one of it's a big, like, if he does or if he doesn't, I don't think it's as big of a deal. Now, I think it's a good question. Shredrick Ross says, in Scott Woodward, I trust. You should. And again, guys, if he leaves, he leaves. I mean, do I like Brian Kelly? Maybe even more than some of y'all. Yeah, actually, I do. I know a lot of you are down on my guy right now. That's fine. Like that is fine. I get where you're coming from. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I'm not going to give up on the dude yet. He has not given me. He hasn't given me enough. Now, the defense is a big from this year is a big thing. Like, not gonna like it's a big thing. See what I mean? I already got a text. Oh, Blake, why are you talking about me on your show? The agent thing. Did some breaking news just happen? We're going to be fine, man. I'm going to give BK the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I just think that there is some overreaction. I think that there's some overreaction. Conrad says, Blake, everybody hate their coach, not names Saban in reality. Well, shit, that when he loses, they hate him. Guys, they had a GoFundMe page for Nick Saban last year. I remember that like it was yesterday. Cat says, I could see him leaving for a fan base less demanding and easier. Cat, look, this happens to every LSU fan, every time for LSU. I agree. I think LSU is very demanding. Very demanding. So is Michigan. I mean, the heat is just as hot at Michigan as it can be here now. Now they don't have the championships that you've had the last couple of years or 20 years. They don't. But don't act like it's not like he'd feel it. Come on now. Oh, BK's aware. So I just saw somebody said BK's not aware of this is going on. The shit he don't. 1,000% he knows it's going on. All right. Not like this, Daniel. Daniel says this happens every top 10 program, #rumors. No, it doesn't. Not like this. No, it does not. LSU kills themselves. LSU kills themselves from never. Lester says update on Denver Harris. I have no idea. Hadn't heard. C King says BK came to LSU to do one thing, and that's win a national championship. That's it. That's his ceiling. That is his ceiling. And again, don't worry if he does. All right, very quickly before we get out of here. Playoffs. We did speak about Bama tonight. Said it. Officially going to make the statement. I am picking Alabama to win against Michigan. I just don't think Michigan's seen a team like them. I mean, here's the truth, and you're going to think I'm crazy. The best quarterback that I think that Michigan's seen all year is Jalen Milroe. What does that tell you on the teams that they faced? I think he's better than Kyle McCord at Ohio State all around. He's played better. He's played better teams. I just think it's going to be Bama. Unfortunately, I don't want them to win. Neither do I want Michigan to win, really. but I just think they're going to win. I think you give Saban that much time, he's going to win. Texas and Washington. I'm going to go ahead and pick Texas. I've been picking against Washington all year. I'm going to continue to roll with it. I'm going to continue to go with my gut. I just think they're the most fraudulent team in the playoff. I think they got a really good passing attack. I think they've ran against some really good teams. They've played really down and up all year long. They beat a good Oregon team twice. I don't think you could take that from them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game on both sides. Texas's secondary is ass cheeks. Guys, they are 97th in the country in passing yards allowed. They're cheeks. They're ass. Michael Penix in that wide receiver core is going to feast. I just think overtime, both lines of scrimmage at Texas is going to take over, and we got a rematch. It's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's what I believe. And then when it's time for the national title, I'll give you my pick. I think you're not going to like it. I don't think you're going to like it. What I think my pick's going to be if that happens again. Around your SEC. So we talked about this, and earlier I mentioned there are some things that I thought that in my opinion, I did not think that Brian Kelly was doing a good job in. Let me give you a couple of those areas. I think with what Ole Miss is doing in the transfer portal, I know that you went into the portal last year for all DBs and you missed. But you also went in the portal for all DBs in 2022 and you hit. You can't just not go into the portal because you missed. You cannot do that. That is a massive no. You cannot do that. All right? I know that there's a numbers crunch and BK doesn't want to cut any of his dudes loose. You can't, in my opinion, you just can't be scared to go out there and go fishing. You can't be scared to walk off in the river or the lake or the pond barefoot because you're scared that you might see a snake. You can't have that fear. You can't have the fear what happened with Denver Harris happen to you again. I'm going to tell you this, and LSU fans will be mad at me, and I'm okay with that. What Ole Miss is doing, you can argue me with anything you want, but we were right. I was right on the last 2 years on two teams. I picked Missouri to finish second in the East. It's my team in the East that I thought would dominate and be good. I actually thought that they would beat LSU and would be LSU's only loss this past year. Boy, was I wrong on that part. Thought they'd be my number 2 team in the East. Thought the same for Tennessee last year. I'm going to tell you that the early rising team that everybody's going to have their eyes on and a team that I think is going to make the playoffs next year, barring injury, is Ole Miss. Now, how does the locker room come together with all these new pieces and all these new starters? You're probably right there. We will have to see. But it is of my opinion, they're the team that is killing it the most. Oh, by the way, the second team that not only is adding decent talent and pretty good talent from the high school ranks, but also doing really damn good things in the portal is Missouri. As soon as the state of Missouri, changed their NIL deal and NIL laws, they have been recruiting their asses off. Whether in high school, they got Crutchfield to flip. They've gone in the portal and got some really good players, got really good players last year in the portal. You could make the argument that from where they were, 6 wins, to going to 10, that they might have won the portal in the SEC last year because they got to a 10-win team, possibly could win 11 games. You cannot be scared to go in the portal. You can't be scared to miss. You just can't miss all over the place. Man. Black Goatee sends a $5 super chat. Says a lot of talk about Bryce Underwood, but Colin Hurley is smart. Quick release, good pocket presence, very well spoken in interviews. He is that dude. Yeah, Black OT, I thank you for the super chat. I don't disagree. But you're going after you. So here's what we've done. We've identified and established that the number one player in the country is Bryce Underwood in 2025, and he's a quarterback. And that you're the team to beat. I get Colin Hurley is good. I also agree with you. I think people are sadly mistaken. I think he's a damn strong thrower of the football. I actually disagree with a lot of my friends on him. But Bryce Underwood's really good, and you're going after the number one player in the country. You can't start shit like this. I mean, guys, listen. Before we get out of here, so there's over 900 of you in here from all the platforms. Listen to me. Billy Lucci was out there a couple weeks ago talking about this Brian Kelly thing. He was out there saying that, yeah, if Harbaugh goes to Michigan. Lucci was saying that if Brian Kelly leaves, if Jim Harbaugh leaves Michigan, Brian Kelly could go to Michigan. And then the next week literally had a video published on his own website, on his own business, saying not only how much that he hates LSU, he absolutely despises Brian Kelly. Guys, that's where the rumor started. He was the first son of a bitch to say it. Cody McGee says SEC teams that will be in the playoffs next year: Ole Miss, Missouri, LSU, and Georgia. Thank you for the super chat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, man, I don't know if you're a playoff team. I think you're on the fringe again. And you're going to have one hell of an offseason. I think that LSU has the potential to be in a playoff. But you cannot tell me that you don't have question marks. You can't tell me that you don't have question marks along the defense. Guys, you don't even know who your defensive staff's completely going to be in 24. I'm not 1,000% sold that you don't have a new play caller. Like, we hadn't talked about Matt House in weeks. Other than that he was calling plays at practice when we were there last week. Like, too many question marks. Way too many question marks. Can they do it? No doubt. LSU can make a 12-team playoff. If this were to happen next year, like everything be the exact same, which it won't, but just stay with me. Like if the playoffs were expanded to 12 teams this year, we all would be so pissed off that we're not in over Missouri because we beat them at their own place. I mean, you're there. You are 1,000% there. I do not know at this current moment if you're going to be, you do not have an easier schedule than Ole Miss. Ole Miss has a cakewalk damn near. They don't play Alabama next year at all. They play Georgia at home. And they got LSU. That is their toughest, that is their two toughest games. And the truth is, they can lose both of those and still make the playoff. All right. Got a lot going on, man. Aaron says, so we're moving backward next year. No, you're the exact same. You're the exact same. Ole Miss has Furman, Middle Tennessee, at Wake Forest. Georgia Southern, Kentucky. Kentucky's actually not going to be that bad of a team. South Carolina at LSU. Oklahoma. Well, Oklahoma's a tough team. They could lose that one. At Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi State. Where LSU has USC, Nicholls State, UCLA, or South Carolina, UCLA, Ole Miss, Arkansas, A&M, Bama, Vandy, Oklahoma. Don't like it? Oh, and by the way, you ain't even mentioned Bama. in that. All right, well, that's one. D. Smith says, if you get Bryce, you get others who want to play with him. That's why you want him. People want to play with the best. It's true. 1,000% true. I agree with that. Corey Moore, Harlan Berry. I mean, you gotta hit there, man. You gotta hit there. You're not really in a good position with a 2025 quarterback if you miss out on him. All right. We will be off tomorrow. I think, unless we get back late. I don't really know our schedule. We have another family Christmas. Off tomorrow, back Thursday. And so, yeah, we'll let you know when we'll be live. We'll let you know soon. Y'all have a great and fantastic night. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.